My fiancée demanded, "Sign this prenup, giving me everything or the wedding's off." I said, "Let me read it." Then my lawyer found clauses so outrageous they were illegal, and we countersued for emotional distress and non-refundable deposits. She got nothing but our legal bill. I'm Michael, 32 male, and still trying to process this. You think you know someone, right? Linda, 30, and I, together 3 years, engaged for 6 months. Wedding plans were humming. 40K event, venue booked, deposits paid, much of it my savings. Last Tuesday, Linda gets this formal look. "Michael," she says, "we need to talk. For our future." I'm thinking baby names. Nope. She slides a thick document across the table. It's a prenuptial agreement. My mother thinks it's best, and after talking with her and Jennifer, I agree. It protects us both. A prenup? I was surprised. I'm in tech, have some investments, and an inheritance that covered most of our planned house down payment. She's a freelance graphic designer. It wasn't on my radar. "Okay," I said, picking it up. "Can I read it?" Linda's smile was a bit too bright. "Of course, honey, but it's pretty standard. My mom's lawyer friend drafted it. We just need to sign it by the end of next week before the final wedding payments." Red flag 1. The rush. "Right," I said. "I'll look." She kissed me. "Don't worry, it's just a formality. If you love me, it's just a piece of paper." Red flag 2. Emotional blackmail intro. Later I read it. Holy crap. I'm no lawyer, but this wasn't standard. It was predatory. My premarital assets, any increase in value during marriage, 70-30 split, her favor. My salary, into a new joint account she'd manage, prioritizing her business development. Any property we bought, regardless of who paid, would be in her name only for liability protection. If we divorced, I got no spousal support, but she'd get a hefty reestablishment sum from me, no matter what. And the kicker, contest any part of it during divorce and I'd pay all her legal fees plus a $50,000 penalty. My stomach dropped. This wasn't protection, it was a weapon aimed at me. I told Linda I needed a lawyer to review it. "Standard procedure," she huffed. "Why? Don't you trust me?" My mother said it's ironclad and fair. "Due diligence, Linda," I said evenly. "It's a legal document." Her eyes narrowed. "Don't take too long. No signature, no wedding. I'm not marrying someone who doesn't trust me to secure our future." Our future sounded suspiciously like her future. Next morning, I called Mr. Robert, a lawyer a colleague recommended. I sent the PDF. His paralegal called back fast. "Mr. Robert wants to see you urgently." He said, quote, "This isn't a prenup, it's a declaration of war." Meeting him tomorrow. Part of me hopes I'm overreacting. The other, colder part, knows this is bad. Wedding in 3 months. Nearly $25 in non-refundable deposits already paid from my account. This is a mess. Update 1. Meeting Mr. Robert was an eye-opener. The man has seen it all, but this prenup, covered in his red ink, shocked him. "Michael," he said straight up, "this is one of the most egregiously one-sided prenuptial agreements I've ever seen. Several clauses are unconscionable, likely unenforceable, possibly even illegal in their intent to defraud." He walked me through the predatory points. That 70-30 split on my premarital asset appreciation? Highly unusual without her active contribution. The joint account for my salary that she controls? He scoffed. All property in her name? Blatant attempt at asset shielding through spousal coercion. But the truly insane clauses, the ones that made my blood run cold, the intellectual property heist, any business idea, invention, or creative work I developed during marriage became 50% hers. If I started a company, she'd be a 50% shareholder, no investment needed. The one-sided infidelity penalty. If I cheated, broad definition, including emotional affairs judged by her, I'd forfeit all my premarital assets to her, plus the skewed marital asset division, no such clause for her. The her family first clause, I'd be legally obligated to support her parents financially if needed, up to 20% of my gross income, even after a divorce, until their deaths. My parents? Not mentioned. Waiving independent counsel trick. Buried in legalese, a line saying I acknowledged ample opportunity for counsel but chose to waive it, despite her pressuring me to sign before a lawyer could properly review it. Classic dirty trick. Mr. Robert said, "The audacity of demanding you sign this under threat. This isn't just securing her future. This is an attempt to financially cripple you." When I told him about Linda's "sign it or the wedding's off" ultimatum, he smiled grimly. "She's handed you a loaded gun and demanded you shoot yourself. We're going to hand it back, unloaded, and point out the law. His advice? Do not sign. Don't even negotiate. The bad faith broke the trust essential for marriage. Then he suggested something new. Given your non-refundable deposits and the emotional distress from this coercion, especially under duress of a wedding, we could countersue. Recoup losses, send a message. I went home head spinning. Linda was texting. Her signed it yet? Caterer needs final payment. Me? Lawyer still reviewing. It's complex. Complex? It's straightforward. Michael, I'm serious. Mom's asking. Jennifer says if you loved me, you'd sign and trust me. Her mother Patricia called. Michael, dear, Linda's distressed. This prenup is sensible. My lawyer friend who has handled many of these assured me it's perfectly normal for a woman to protect herself. You wouldn't want her with nothing if your ventures failed, would you? My ventures? I'm in IT. The sheer gall. Patricia, I said calmly. My lawyer, Mr. Robert, called it predatory and unconscionable. He found potentially illegal clauses. Silence. Then, well, I've never. Linda said you were difficult, bad advice, or maybe you never intended to commit. Click. Yeah, this is a group effort. Decision made. I texted Linda. Linda, we need to talk, in person. My lawyer present, bring yours if you think that document is reasonable. Or just us. Her, why lawyers? This is us. Are you refusing to sign? Refusing to sign that document. Yes, it's outrageous. Let's be adults. Then the wedding is off, Michael. Off. You'll be sorry. You'll lose all that money. And me. The mask was gone. Sadness hit. The woman I loved wasn't real. But Mr. Roberts' words, emotional distress and non-refundable deposits. I texted him. She called it off. Let's proceed with the counteraction. His reply, understood. Document everything. Save all correspondence. It was on. Update 2. So things escalated. After I refused to sign her financial suicide pact and Linda called off the wedding via dramatic all-caps text, I hoped for quiet. Wrong. The calls started. Linda, Patricia, Jennifer. Patricia? How could you? She's heartbroken. After all the plans, money we've spent, you let her on. I calmly replied, Patricia, the prenup was exploitative. My lawyer was horrified. Linda ended it when I refused to sign a document designed to ruin me. Ruin you? Dramatic. It was to protect her. She's delicate. Delicate like a barracuda. Jennifer was worse, the attack dog. You're an ass, Michael. Linda is crying. You wasted everyone's time and money. Scared of commitment, gold digger trying to get her family's money. The irony. Her family's money? This started because she wanted my money. Then, social media vague posting. Linda's sad Insta stories, betrayal, broken hearts. Jennifer's comments. Dodged a bullet, girl, he didn't deserve you. Mutual acquaintances looked at me funny. It stung. Moment of vulnerability. Mistake not to salvage it? Then I'd remember those prenup clauses. Nope. The real dirty trick. I got an email from the wedding venue. Linda had called them, pretending to be me or implying my authorization, trying to get the $15,000 deposit refunded to her account. She spun a tale of mutual cancellation, me being too distraught to call. Luckily, the manager knows me. She thought it was fishy since I paid. She called me. Michael? Confirming cancellation and refunding to Linda's account? My jaw dropped. Absolutely not. She called it off. Any refund, though I know it's non-refundable, comes to me. The manager confirmed Linda's sob story. The nerve. Mr. Robert was almost gleeful. Attempted fraud? Oh, this is good. Document this. Get a statement from the venue manager. She provided one via email. This led to Linda's next move, demanding money directly. Text from her. Michael, since you ruined our wedding and my life, least you can do is give me the $25,000 you were going to spend. I need it for emotional damages. And my mother says I'm entitled to half the deposits anyway, because it was for our wedding. Entitled much? Forwarded to Mr. Robert. His response. Her sense of entitlement is a gift. To our case. We officially filed the countersuit last week, suing for recovery of my non-refundable deposits, approx. $25 for venue, caterer, etc. Her ultimatum and unconscionable prenup were a breach, forcing cancellation, emotional distress, coercive prenup demand, harassment, modest sum, legal fees. She should pay for this circus. Linda was served yesterday. According to a sympathetic mutual friend, she completely lost it, screaming, crying. Patricia now calls me a monster, vindictive. Jennifer's cryptic tweet, some people can't handle strong women and will try to punish them. Stay strong, Linda. Strong women don't try to fleece fiancés with illegal contracts, Jennifer. Initial hearing is scheduled in about 6 weeks. Linda needs a real lawyer now, not mommy's lawyer friend. And lawyers cost money. Grim satisfaction, not joy, like cleaning a festering wound. It hurts, it's gross, but necessary. Still out cash, emotional toll is there, but I'm fighting back. Principle, not just money. You don't try to dismantle someone's financial future and then play victim. Game on. Update 3. It's been a while, and it feels like a lifetime ago. The legal stuff is mostly done, and honestly, it's been a draining period. But here's the update. So, Linda lawyered up with Mr. John. He was reportedly aghast when he saw the prenup she tried to get me to sign. Mr. Robert heard through the legal grapevine that Mr. John basically told Linda and Patricia that her position was severely compromised by that document. Bad faith and unconscionable were reportedly Mr. John's own words about his client's initial demands. Our first move after the initial court filings and that first hearing, which was mostly procedural, was a formal settlement offer as advised by Mr. Robert. We laid out our claim, the $25 in non-refundable deposits I lost, plus $10 for emotional distress, and our current legal fees, which were around $7 at that point. Total around $42. Their initial reaction? Pretty much a refusal. Linda, through Mr. John, still tried to paint me as the bad guy, implying I was lucky she wasn't suing me. Patricia was apparently still convinced they were in the right. Then came the discovery phase, which took a couple of months. This is where we exchanged documents and information. Mr. Robert requested financial disclosures from Linda. The real turning point, though, was Linda's deposition. This was scheduled after weeks of back and forth. Under oath, being questioned by Mr. Robert, who is polite but surgically precise, her story completely unraveled. Mr. Robert, Miss Linda, who drafted this prenuptial agreement. A friend of my mother's. Did you understand all the clauses in it when you presented it to Mr. Michael? Mostly. My mother and Jennifer said it was to protect me. Protect you from what, specifically, regarding Mr. Michael's finances? Well, you know, if he made bad investments, or if things didn't work out. And the clause giving you 50% of any company he might start, with no investment from you. How did that protect you from his bad investments? Her answer was basically word salad. She couldn't justify it. She couldn't justify the one-sided infidelity clause, or the demand that I support her parents. She even tried to claim I had somehow agreed in spirit to these things during our relationship, which was a blatant lie and contradicted by my clear refusal to sign the document as written. The real fireworks were around the attempted venue deposit redirection. Miss Linda, did you contact the venue manager and request Mr. Michael's deposit be refunded to your personal account? We had discussed wedding finances. I thought he'd be okay with me handling that. Did he explicitly authorize you to request his deposit be sent to your account? Not in those exact words, no. So you represented to the venue that you had his authority when in fact, you did not? Long pause. I thought it would be fine. It was for our wedding. I felt entitled to it. Even her own lawyer looked pained at the entitled slip. After that deposition, Mr. John practically pushed for mediation, which took another few weeks to schedule. Linda was a terrible witness for her own case, entitled, evasive, and clearly shown to be untruthful. Going to trial would have been a disaster for her. We went to mediation. Linda, Patricia, and Jennifer were there on one side of a massive table, looking like a panel of sour grapes. Me and Mr. Robert on the other. Linda actually tried to cry at one point, saying I'd ruined her dreams of a secure future. Robert just calmly slid a copy of her prenup to the mediator and said, these were the dreams she had for Michael's future, under her terms. The mediator, a retired judge, read through some key clauses and then looked at Linda with an expression that could curdle milk. Long story short, too late, I know, they caved. Completely. The settlement? Linda is to pay me back the full $25,000 for the non-refundable deposits. She is to pay an additional $5,000 for emotional distress. Less than we initially asked, but Robert said take the win. It avoids more legal wrangling. Crucially, she is to pay all of Mr. Robert's legal fees, which had climbed to nearly $12,000 by then with the extended discovery and mediation prep. Total, $42,000. Payable in installments over 12 months, secured by a confession of judgment, meaning if she defaults, we can get a judgment against her without a full trial. Patricia co-signed it, probably because Linda doesn't have that kind of cash just lying around. The first payment has already cleared. The fallout for Linda? Well, she's paying a hefty sum for her greed. She's humiliated. Many of our mutual friends now know the truth, especially after bits of the prenup's contents and her deposition highlights mysteriously circulated. Jennifer is still her staunch defender online, but most people see it for what it is. I heard she and her mother had a massive fight after the settlement. Patricia blaming Linda for listening to Jennifer. Linda blaming Patricia for the lawyer friend and his insane document. Not my circus, not my monkeys anymore. As for me, I'm lighter. Yeah, lighter is the word. It was never just about the money, though getting it back is obviously good. It was about not letting someone bulldoze me with such blatant, calculated avarice. I stood up for myself, and the system, for once, worked. I learned a hard lesson about trust and that sometimes the people you think you know best can be strangers. It made me more cautious, for sure. Maybe a little cynical, but also stronger. I took the first installment payment and booked myself a solo trip, somewhere quiet where I can just decompress. Haven't decided where yet, but definitely somewhere far from all this drama. The artifact, that cursed prenup, is now locked away with Mr. Robert, a reminder of the bullet I dodged. So yeah, justice served. It wasn't dramatic courtroom explosions like on TV, but a methodical, grinding process that exposed the truth. And the truth was that my lovely fiancée wasn't so lovely after all. Thanks for letting me vent, Reddit. It's been a journey. Onwards and upwards, I guess. Or at least just onwards.